Welcome back. This is ENCA Now. Now, the acting president, David Mabuza, has unveiled a statue of the Griqua community leader, Adam Kok III. He was the founder and chief of East Griqualand. The ceremony forming part of Heritage Day celebrations in Kokstad in KwaZulu-Natal. The statue is placed at the municipal building, which will also be renamed after Kok. Take you live now to Kokstad, and ENCA's Sipamandla Goge is there and joins us on ENCA Now. Sipamandla, good afternoon to you. So the main thrust, the main theme today of the acting president's speech was what?
It was the issue of land. Not only the acting president, David Mabuza, all speakers today, they touched on the very topical issue of land. Deputy President Mabuza said there is too much land in South Africa, it needs to be shared. I think he was taking his cue from the leaders and members of a Kok family who did raise their disappointment that up until now, following their land application or claim in 1998, they have not received their land back. So earlier on they did raise some concerns and say yes, they do recognize the fact that their great-grandfather is being honored today, but they are not happy that nothing has happened when it comes to their land claim, and they would want that to be speeded up, the process to be speeded up. So the deputy president did touch on that and said yes, they are justified in their disappointment. The government needs to do something to honor, that is Adam Kok, the dead.
And the response from the community to that was what?
Well, the response to the community was yes, indeed, they do acknowledge and they are happy with the fact that Adam Kok III was being honored today. There was a statue and the unveiling of the building which is named after him, but they say that is the start. It's a good gesture, but they want to see more happening in terms of honoring not only the Griqua leader, but also the Khoisans, the indigenous people of South Africa, the First Nation as they put it. They say their history, their culture and their heritage has not been recognized, and they would want to see that being taught at schools. And also government must do more in terms of renaming streets and other buildings.
And when this criticism is put forward to government, Sipamandla, what sort of response is forthcoming?
Of course, they did acknowledge it. The Deputy President, Acting President David Mabuza said yes, he will not dispute the fact that all these concerns and these proposals, they are justified. They will go back, sit and look at it, but they will act moving forward. Even the Premier of KwaZulu-Natal, Willis Mchunu, did acknowledge that particularly the Griqua community or the Griqua nation has not been widely recognized. He mentioned the issue of how colonialism and apartheid stripped the Griqua nation in particular of their dignity, of their heritage. He even touched on a very thorny issue of how the Griqua community ended up being labeled as coloureds, and he said actually that was wrong. They shouldn't have been called that. And earlier on I was able to interview a Griqua historian who told me that they take offense. They don't want to be called coloureds, they just want to be called the Griqua people. And also Khoisan SA chief, the chief of the Khoisan, did raise that point and said they feel that the South African government must come down, sit with these two nations, that's the Khoisan and the Griqua nation, and make sure that they address them accordingly and properly.
All right, Sipamandla, thank you very much indeed. So let's pick up on that one point, the community feeling that they're not getting the recognition that they deserve.
Today is happy but a sad day. Happy in the sense that partly government recognize, but they do not recognize us as the First Nation of this country. It is of no use and of no respect that you want to bring up a monument that liberates the Griqua people. But yet the First Nation, the Griqua, the Korana, the Nama, the Cape Koi and the San people, we are not recognized in this country.
You marched to Pretoria and you wanted to meet with President Ramaphosa. What did you say to him and what did he say to you? Didn't he promise to address those issues?
What we said to the president when we embarked from Port Elizabeth, we've walked more than 1,000 kilometers all the way to Pretoria. A journey that took us 3 weeks, where we had to went to wind, sun, and even at some kilometers, 15, 20 kilometers, we went through hail just to give a memorandum to the president. But yet the president at that time when we arrived at the Union Building and the deputy, they were stubborn. We came there the 31st of November. Only they received the memorandum after 17 days of hunger strike from us. We almost died at Christmas Eve. Then we hand over the memorandum. The demands was plain and clear. First Nation status, that is who we are. Second one is that we want our language to be official as the first language. The third one is the country belongs to the First Nation. I've given you all the 5. And the last one, where we are saying enough is enough. This year, the government must be serious. We are not coloureds.
Okay. You also say you want your land back.
Yes. When we say we want our land back, we are saying the whole of South Africa. The amendment of Act 25 of rent expropriation without compensation. Why is this government turning that act? Because the rightful owners are not the so-called black people. They are the first indigenous people, the Khoisan people.
Let's talk about heritage, the Griquas, the Khoisan. What do we need to ensure, or what do we need to do to ensure that in South Africa, heritage and social cohesion is enhanced?
The first thing that the government must do is the traditional bill itself. The bill does not say that we are the First Nation, and we will never accept something that not brings us as First Nation. Our culture, it needs to go into the school's curriculum. There in grade 5, you only hear a little bit in piece. It needs to go right up until grade 12 so that our children know their culture and their identity.
Indeed, we will try and ascertain that because he's still here with me, Xoli. Perhaps let me ask him, what do you want to be referred to as? You are saying you are not coloureds. What do you want to be called?
We want to be called Khoisan. You can call us Nama, Korana, Griqua, Khoi, but not coloured. We are not coloured. It's a derogative term. It was scrapped in 1991 together with the other K word. Why is this government still calling us coloured?